My roommate Andrew once complimented me after a gig I played in college where I felt like I wasn't playing very well, and I said, "Nah man, I suck." And he said, "You shouldn't say that because it makes me feel dumb." And that's when I realized that compliments are more for the person that's giving the compliment than the person receiving it. It's a means of expressing thanks. Improvise as if the chord is a half step above or below. So in this case, F minor 7 or E flat minor 7. You might use F Dorian or E flat Dorian. Or improvise as if the chord is of a different quality, like in this case, E major 7. Maybe you play E Lydian. To be honest, so far, it's pretty sweet. I have two favorites, the tried and true Hendrix voicing with the sharp 9 on top, as well as this one with the dominant 7th on top. Check it out. Spicy. Probably Ben Levin. Not only is he an amazing guitarist and composer and YouTuber, but he's also a pretty amazing animator. Definitely check out Ben Levin. He's a modern day Frank Zappa. I have nothing to say about Ben Shapiro's political views, but his views on music are fucking stupid. Blue. Can't you tell? Me gusta Fenniel All-Stars. I auditioned for an agency band that needed some more bass players. I got in, and then I had to learn, I'm gonna say like 150 songs before I could actually start playing the gigs. No, I haven't, because to my knowledge, early childhood is the only time when you can develop absolute pitch or perfect pitch. That's when the brain has the necessary plasticity to develop the cross-modal relationships that yield absolute pitch. So if anybody tells you that they learned how to have absolute pitch, they're wrong. So your ability to play your instrument is never based upon your physical stature. This is why people who are 6'8" are not automatically imbued with the ability to play the bass guitar. It's also why Esperanza Spalding, who is a very small person, can absolutely shred the upright bass. She's incredible. It is really awesome. I'm also glad that he's now getting the mainstream recognition that he, and also Noah, definitely deserve. Breathe. It's not that hard to learn a couple of chords and sound pretty good at ukulele and guitar. It's the least amount of work for the most amount of gratification, which is definitely not the same case for keyboards. So to avoid inevitably getting vibed by jazz bro instrumentalists, learn how to improvise around chord progressions. You don't need to learn how to scat, just know how to outline chords with your voice. Also check out Ella Fitzgerald and Nina Simone. Yeah. Meet a lot of people, be positive, be professional, and you will get gigs. Thelonious Monk once said, never sound anybody for a gig, meaning never ask anybody for a gig, never bug anybody for a gig, just be on the scene. And that was true when he said it, and it's true now. So it's rather difficult to make strings sound bad, provided that the players are playing in tune. But if you really want to study something, check out the string quartets of Debussy and Ravel. Both composers only wrote one string quartet apiece, and both are masterpieces, and you can learn a lot from studying them. I love his playing. I love his playing with Banda Magda. I love his chordal approach to playing, his duets with singers. I first checked him out about 10 years ago when I was at Berkeley. I saw him play with the harpist Maeve Gilchrist, and it was awesome then, and it's awesome now. Great player. So like with anything involving an adrenal response, you can't think your way out of stage fright. And for me, who's used to living inside my head, it's kind of a scary prospect. Instead, what you need to do is to remember to breathe, so you can train your body to better adapt to the adrenaline for the future. Learning the basic rules of chess does not take that much time, and learning the basic rules of musical notation also doesn't take much time. You can learn both of them in an afternoon, but to become a master of chess takes many years, and to become a master of sight reading takes the same amount of time. Lots of practice. Please let me know when you find out. Sungazer, Volume 2, coming soon. Yeah, boy. Nuts. If you must take a bass solo, make sure that it continues the forward momentum of the song, because most of the time when people start taking bass solos, the dynamic energy just kind of dies, which might not always be good for the song. So if you take a bass solo, make sure you put some grit into it. Call me a pleb, but immigrant song. Three things. One, the complexity of a piece of music has no bearing on its worth. Two, the reason why people like Ed Sheeran has nothing to do with how many chords that he plays. And three, if the genres of country, punk rock, and the blues can get by with just 3 chords and the truth, that's good enough for me. You gotta check out Bob Reynolds. He plays with Snarky Puppy. He's an amazing musician and has a great educational blog. No, you won't invent a new scale. Everything has already been cataloged. Think about it this way. Artists don't try and find new colors, they try and find new ways to use the colors that they have to create new things. Think about it that way when it comes to scales and music. 4chan has called me a shit-tier e-celeb. Pretty proud of that one. 2, Luke McGinnis, Evan Tyre, Liz Maney, Drew Krasner. Why? Because they can. How? Fuck if I know. I'm actually not sure, but my guess would be that the drum set is actually a fairly new instrument. People haven't been playing it for that long in the grand scheme of things, so the notation system associated with the drum set hasn't been 100% standardized yet. You just answered your own question.